in Black America. Regular host Mike Haney isn't here tonight. He's taking the night off. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. I'll be hosting the night. Thanks for being here. We're going to have a great episode of 60 Minutes in Black America. Here we go. Thanks again for joining another episode of 60 Minutes in Black America. You can see 60 Minutes in Black America every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern right here on these same social media networks. And maybe you're not watching it live, you're watching a replay, and that's great too. We love when you watch the shows after Sunday. Thank you, Mike Haney, for the opportunity to host this show. And everyone, I want you to know that Mike Haney has another show. It started last week. You can watch it every Monday on these same social media networks. It's Monday at 7:30 a.m. and it's called Wake Up Baltimore, talking about many of the positive things that are going on in the great city of Baltimore, Maryland. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Let's get into our show for today. We are going to highlight some Black businesses here on Black Business Month. We're going to talk to two owners of Black businesses. Let's bring them on now. Let's bring on Noah Baldon and Brandon Byrd. Noah, Brandon, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good. It's good to have you with us. And let's bring on Brandon as well. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
How you doing? I'm
I'm
doing well.
well.
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
well. Good. It's great to have you with us. So first, let's talk to Noah and get some information from you. Then we're going to talk to both of you kind of at the same time. Noah, you have your own homemade soap business. Tell us
Mhm.
how you got started in that.
So it was probably in around like the middle of COVID, like all of quarantine and stuff like that. And I was applying to a ton of different places, but of course, with COVID still being really high, no one was really hiring. But I still needed money to like do well. I wasn't able to leave the house, but like online shopping became a really big vice for me and a lot of my friends. So my mom came up with the great idea to start my own business. So I worked with two really big role models of mine, Nia Badger and Alexia Herod, and they both have their own businesses, and they kind of helped me grow my own, figure out how to run a business and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I chose soap specifically because I have eczema and it's hard for me to find products that don't cause flare ups or anything like that. And that is good for me. So I know other people struggle with that. So I
Hmm.
knew that was a very important thing that I wanted to kind of touch bases on when it came to having my own business.
Yeah.
So I thought, why not work in body care since that is such a big thing for people with sensitive skin? It's really hard for us to find something that works for us.
Hmm.
So I thought I could also cater to myself, a big group, and the Black community, really anyone, and then also make money.
Yeah. Great. So you're solving a problem for yourself, solving a problem for others, plus making some money. There's nothing wrong with that. Congratulations to you for having a business. We're gonna continue to talk to you. I'd like to introduce everyone to Brandon Byrd. He's the owner of Goodies Frozen Custards and Treats in Alexandria, Virginia. Brandon, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you for having me. And how's everybody doing this evening?
Oh yeah, it's a great evening. Thanks for being here. So tell us, how did you get started in your business in frozen custards and treats? How did that get started?
So I've been in business for 10 years now, and this is actually my 10-year anniversary. But it really started out of a desire to, leave corporate America, and I always felt like if corporate America was willing to pay me for my expertise, then how come I couldn't pay myself for my own, for my own expertise? And so back in 2012, um, I was my last job that I had prior to starting Goodies. I was working for a magazine company in New York City. I just got burnt out, and I was like, it's time for a change. And being from Wisconsin, I felt like bringing a piece of the Midwest to the DMV, would definitely, be a good thing. I mean, there's a lot of transplants from the Midwest here. A lot of folks, that are from the Midwest wants to have their frozen custard, but instead of going back to Wisconsin or Minnesota, they can just come here. So it really just came out of a desire to, create my own path and not, and not be so reliant on, a corporate job. Um, I guess very similar to, to Noah and her, where she was like, she was applying for opportunities, but there were none. And for me, I wasn't applying for opportunities. I was actually wanting to, create my own opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Goodies came from. I mean, it really just came out of the desire to, to create my own opportunity and leave a legacy,
Yeah.
for my family.
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I like it. We're so happy to hear that you did that. Now, Noah, you're in the Buffalo area. You were on the another show that we have called the New Biz Buzz several months ago, and then you went on to have some radio interviews and at least one television spot. How did it feel getting all that media attention about your business, and what did that blossom into for you?
It was definitely new. I've been on like for school academics. I've been on like in newspapers before for like different science fairs, but having something that I created be shown to so many different people and reach so many different people was amazing. And seeing like once they did get in contact with me, because after I think your show and then the news specifically, I kind of just like blew up. Like it was probably like because I've been in business for about 2 years now, going on 3 in November. That was probably like the peak so far of
Yeah.
everything. Like it was a ton of emails, DMs on Instagram, Facebook, and it was just so amazing to see that people were interested in what I had, and then after they got it, that they loved what I was creating.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it definitely was uplifting and motivation to this day.
Yeah, yeah. Now I purchased some of your products and I
Mhm.
liked it, and so did my wife. Yep, and we're going to purchase some more.
Mhm.
Now, speaking of products, Brandon, you also have a food truck. Can you bring the food truck to the Baltimore area where I live, or maybe near Buffalo or the Rochester Institute of Technology where Noah is? And we'll talk more about her in school. But I mean, do you have limits on where you'll take the truck? Tell me about it.
I mean, yes and no. I say no because if someone's willing to, so here's the thing: the furthest that I've been to this, to date, is down in West Virginia. I had a client that wanted me there for their wedding. I was there. Um, that was about an hour and a half away. I'll travel wherever. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I have not been to Baltimore or Rochester. But I would be totally open. I have to get towed up there, But no, I would totally, I'd totally be open to. I travel, man. Like I travel, and I work. So I tell
Okay.
folks if you have a desire, I'm gonna figure out how to make it happen for you.
All right, great, great. Looking forward to it. Now, you also mentioned about Wisconsin. You said you're from Wisconsin, so these are Wisconsin custards. At least I think I saw that on your website. But now let's take away from ice
Yep.
cream for a second. Let's take it away from treats and frozen custard. Please tell me you're not a Packers fan.
Hold on, man. Are you a Ravens fan?
No, 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 no. It's my
Oh,
show
okay,
tonight.
okay,
I'm
okay.
asking the questions. So
Okay.
tell me you're not a Packers
Okay.
fan.
Indeed.
Are you a Packers fan?
No, I'm a 49ers fan,
Okay.
followed by Green Bay.
Followed by
Followed
Green
by
Bay.
Green Bay.
Okay. The
Yes, yes.
reason
But
I had to
I'm a
find,
Niners fan.
yeah.
Go
Reason.
Bills.
Oh no, we have a Bills fan in the house too. No, see, the reason I asked because Jasmine Pollock, who was the host of this show last week, and she has her own sports show called First Impression Sports Talk, and you can learn more about that going to her website, jasmineonsports.com. She is a Packers fan. And so I was going to make sure to connect the two of you. So, the two Packers fan, I had to make sure that you guys were never on the same show together because we just can't have that. Now we got a Buffalo Bills fan in here too. I like it. I mean, I don't like the Bills, but I'm glad you spoke up about your team, Noah. So Noah, you're a student at Rochester Institute of Technology, going into your sophomore
Second
year,
year.
junior, second
Yeah.
year. Tell us, what are you studying, and what do you hope to be when you grow up?
Well, the whole reason I chose RIT is because they offered me a 4+2 program for interior design and architecture, which is my major. So I do the first 4 years, I get a bachelor's of fine arts in interior design, and then after the second two, I get my master's in architecture, which is probably the best deal out here right now for that major because architecture, in all like in my application process, I saw that architecture was probably the hardest major to find. So I'm here studying that, and fingers crossed. I have a co-op. I think my fourth or fifth year. So fingers crossed that turns into a real job, or I'll even come back to Buffalo. My bishop at my church, Bethesda Word Harvest International, he offered me early, because mind you, this is only my second year, but he offered me a position early, asking if I could come back and help with the different properties the church
Hmm.
owns, and even just like working on the church as a whole. So
Oh, nice.
um, it just depends, because I also want to go like study abroad. I want to travel, so
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
great.
I still have a lot of time to decide, but
Yeah,
I know for a fact I definitely want to kind of start with Buffalo and build
yeah.
Buffalo up, because it's kind of it's getting better, but I know it can be more.
Great for you. Wanting to do something to help your city and to help others. I like it. I like it. Now, I want to make sure that our viewers are able to contact both of you. There was a comment here that Brandon, you need to bring the food truck to Baltimore for the AFRAM festival. So give us your contact information, Instagram or whatever it is, on how folks can contact you. Brandon, go ahead and let us know how we can get in touch with you, please.
Yeah, so my actually all of my social media platforms, my handle is at MMM. So that's three M's in the word goodies. So at goodies. And and then the website is the same handle, it's just goodies.com.
Okay.
And you can just send me a DM, you can email me, call me. All my contact information is out there, so it's not a problem.
Okay, and I think someone's going to be in touch with you about getting that food truck to come to Baltimore for the Amfram Festival. Looking forward to that. And Noah, how do folks get in touch with you to order some soap?
I mainly go through Instagram at Soap Fabulous Soaps. That's the same handle for Facebook though, so either one works. And then in the bios of both applications, I have an Etsy shop that you can use to contact me, and then I usually do orders through that or DMs.
Okay, all right.
So yeah.
Yeah, great. So, folks, you're watching the show. Support black businesses. You probably, when you came on to 60 Minutes in Black America tonight, did not expect to see a young lady, black young lady, who has her own business, and it's a soap business. And the reason that she created, you probably didn't expect to see the owner, a black owner of a frozen custard shop. See, we have black owners, black entrepreneurs that are doing some things, differently, and we need to support them. So, we're going to support Noah. I want you to support her. I want you to start blowing up Brandon's Instagram so that he's getting requests to take his food truck here and food truck there and food truck everywhere. That like kind of came out. It wasn't even planned. But then also, it's in Alexandria, and I know we have a lot of folks that watch this show that live in the Baltimore, D.C., Northern Virginia area. So we can get there. We can get to you to help support your business. So we want to be able to do that. Now, one final question for both of you, and Brandon, we'll start with you on this one. When you started your business, tell us about that moment when maybe you weren't doing as much business as you wanted, but you didn't give up. What motivated you to keep going? What motivated you when it looked like things weren't going to make it, or you weren't getting the support, or whatever that was, whatever that felt like for you? Tell us that moment when you said, yes, this is really going to go. Go ahead, Brandon.
Well, I mean, that's a loaded question because it's many things. My very first season. So my season is generally April till November 1, and that's depending on the weather. And my very first season, I actually didn't get curbside until I want to say August or maybe late June, somewhere around that time period, because I have a vintage step van. It's a 1952 Metro van, and it just kept breaking down. And then trying to find parts proved to be very challenging. So when I finally got curbside, and I saw the way that people responded, I mean, I was like, "There's something here," but I only had a chance to work about 3 months. But I realized that there was a need, there was an opportunity for me if I just stuck with it, although I had all these challenges. My first 3 years, that was really my experience. But I also got a lot of support when people tried the product, when they saw the experience. Um, People really, was like, you have something special. I think my moment was me personally. One of the reasons why I left corporate America was because I realized if I wanted to create a legacy, the only way I felt I could do that was I had to have my own business. Because I could have went back to corporate America, but I was like, I have the skill set that corporate America wants. Use that to build a legacy. And after my first 3 years of all the roller coaster ride that it's been, I just was like, grit or grind, you're gonna be here to shine. So you just got to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I have three great nieces that are 4, 6, and 8, and my motivation is them. When they look at me and they ask me about business, or they ask me if I'm catering today, or if I'm going to the ice house, and they want to be, they want to participate. I didn't have that in corporate America
Mm-hmm.
because I was at the mercy of my boss. They had a job description for me, and I had to fulfill that, not create a legacy. So,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, like I think for me, my motivation always was, the legacy piece.
Mm-hmm.
Because in I hate to say it, but Black America, we don't really have much of a legacy. I mean, when I say legacy, not just, oh, well, my dad played football, so you know, here's a trophy or a placard in his name,
Mm-hmm.
but an asset, a tangible asset that I can leave in my absence. And I tell my nieces now, I tell them every day, I said, you guys got three options for the ice house. That's my shop in Old Town. And I say, you can grow goodies, you can start your own business, or you can lease it to someone else, but you can never sell the building.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, I'm prepping them to be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't even have to be in the same form as goodies, but it could be like, hey, well, we want to start our own architect firm, like maybe Noah at some point. But they have the foundational pieces in place,
Yeah.
and so that was what really kept me going. But I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
think the first thing is you got to have the drive. You got to have extreme self confidence, because this world is very unfriendly to people of color, and you know I had to be my biggest champion or cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all the while looking at them saying, okay, you guys are my motivation. But I had to
Mm-hmm.
have the other three pillars in order to succeed.
Sure, sure. Thank you for sharing all of that. And I want our viewers to support you. Take the trip to Alexandria. Support Brandon. Contact him on Instagram to get that food truck at the frozen custard truck at your next event. And Noah, when we talked earlier on New Biz Buzz, one of the things you mentioned was a lot of the support that you got from friends, family, and even church members. Tell us some about that.
Yeah, no, going off of what Brandon was talking about, my family is definitely a big motivator. Like, those are my main regulars, and seeing that what I'm making is helping them, and that they're constantly coming back, and they do give me notes, like if they want, like I have one family member who has the same problem as me when it comes to eczema. Her skin gets really um patchy, and like even some discoloration will come up if she uses like one wrong thing. It takes literally one product to throw off her entire body. And she came to me and she was like, no, I need your stuff. And I threw in, I think specifically she asked me for turmeric, and I was like, okay, I got you. And next time I saw her, she was cleared up, and well, not fully, but like it was better than it was last time I saw her. And I know that if I were to see her again today, her skin will probably be fully cleared up. And seeing that I could help her, because for me at least, my eczema has always messed with my confidence. Like, I don't like having spots all over my face, all over my arms. Like, it, especially when you're younger, kids are always like, "What's that? What's that? What's that?" So, seeing that I could prevent that issue from happening to and people of all ages, especially family members, people I care about, it definitely keeps me going.
Thank you for sharing. Noah Baldon, Brandon Byrd, thank you both for being with us. Noah is the owner of Soap, Fabulous Soaps, and you can get in touch with her through the Instagram that will be right on the screen there. And Brandon is the owner of Goodies, Frozen Custards and Treats. His Instagram is right there as well. Please, let's support these Black businesses. Let's give them the support they need to make it. And you heard them both say that it's about, you heard Brandon talk about it's building a legacy. You heard Noah talk about it's about helping others with their skin concerns. And so they're doing things for the right reason. Brandon and Noah, thank you so much for being with us here on 60 Minutes in Black America. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
In this episode of 60 Minutes in Black America, we're also going to highlight members of the Leon Thomas Group team. We're a production company that specializes in virtual event production, webinars, and shows like this. And we also have a full team of editors. We have a full team of voiceover artists, and we're going to highlight one of those voiceover artists now. Take a look at this work from Dion Hunter.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you the Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
Those two pieces were done by Dion Hunter, a voice actor who's a part of the Leon Thomas Group team. You'll actually get to meet Dion later on in this episode. I'm Leon Thomas. This is 60 Minutes in Black America. I'm filling in for host Mike Haney. Thank you, Mike, for the opportunity. And again, please watch Mike's new show called Wake Up Baltimore, talking about some of the positive things that are going on in Charm City in the city of Baltimore. That's 7:30 Monday mornings on these same social media networks. Noah and other college students are returning to their campuses now, and many students, this is their first college experience entering that first year of school. And we wanted to have someone on who could talk about that first year and how to be successful at college, at the university, and successful academically and socially. So we've invited Dr. Cedric Brown to be with us today. Dr. Brown is the director of athletics at Lewis and Clark Community College in Godfrey, Illinois. Dr. Brown, how are you?
Good afternoon, Leon. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of 60 Minutes in Black America. And so you just got hired recently as the director of athletics at Lewis and Clark Community College. Tell us about what that process was like, but also tell us some of your background, some of the other things you've done in athletics, and then we'll go on and talk about how students can be best prepared and how they can best succeed at college. Go ahead, Dr. Brown.
Yes, sir. So first of all, Leon, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on your shows. You and Jasmine are very classy, and it's fun because there's fun topics. I was one of, I believe, 50 or 60 applicants across the country that applied for this position. I had worked at Lewis and Clark Community College before as the assistant coach for men's basketball. And I was here from 2015 to 2018. And previously, my career has went through ebbs and flows in community college and at the NCAA level, Division I and Division II. So having the opportunity to kind of come back home was a blessing within itself. My wife Linda and I, we were out in Pittsburgh. Our family, her family, immediate family, is from St. Louis, and so having the opportunity to come back to St. Louis, Missouri for my wife was really good, but then also giving me an opportunity to come back to intercollegiate athletics because I was the last almost 2 years and a half, I was at the interscholastic level at private schools. And so the opportunity to get back into a place that I believe that the Lord has prepared me for, right? First as a student athlete, then as an assistant men's basketball coach, then as a head coach, and then after going through my doctoral program, being able to get back to athletic administration, where I believe I'm best suited as a servant leader.
Mm-hmm. Now, as a servant leader, that means you're going to be serving but leading, and also you're getting those conversations with students and sometimes families about directions and things that they need to do, things that need to be improved, again, for the best interest of the student. Talk to us some about, first, the value of junior colleges and community colleges. There is a group of high school seniors that late last year, in their junior year of high school and moving into their early part of their senior year, they're going to be looking at colleges. They're going to be looking at other options for education and what they're going to do after high school. Talk to us about some of the advantages of attending a junior college and community college.
Yes, sir. Well, there's a misconception about community colleges, that you don't get as much of a quality education as you would as a four-year institution. Well, I can dispel that myth, because whether you go to a four-year school right out of high school or you go to a two-year school out of high school, community college, you're still going to be taking your general education courses. You will still have an opportunity to dip your toe into your selected major, but for the biggest part of the core courses that you're going to take, they're going to be your your starting out courses. And so what I tell everybody about two-year schools is that, one, you have smaller class sizes, so you have a greater intimate educational experience because the ratios from your instructor, your professor, are extremely lower than you are at your four-year school. Also, you get an opportunity to change the type of belonging that you need, whether it be as a student athlete, whether it be in student government, or if you just want to, if you're, kind of an introvert and you want to have an opportunity to make new friends and build new relationships, you have an opportunity to do that, because campus sizes, you might range between about 3,500 to maybe 8,000 on your campus. Some are commuter schools. Some schools, depending on the state that you're in, will have opportunities for housing. You just need to have an open mind when you go to those institutions, because you're going to get a quality education, right? You're going to have quality instructors that have great credentials. Most times you need to have at least a master's degree to teach in higher education, or post-secondary education, I should say. So, you have an opportunity to do those things. So I believe that it's a great opportunity for students that are not quite ready to leave home, but it gives them an opportunity to kind of dip their toe into that educational experience that they're going to have for the next 4-6 years if they go to grad school, or if they go on from there.
Now, Dr. Brown, when we think about success in college, socially or academically. I hear about students that struggle in that first year, that first semester, that freshman year when they're away from home or just because it's strictly a new academic environment. What's some advice that you have for students that are entering that first year? What are some things that they should do, things that they should stay away from to have academic success, but also social success? Give us 2 or 3 pieces of advice that you've given to other students, and that would be helpful for students to hear now in that first year going to school.
Yes, sir. Well, one, you have to come with a plan, right? You have to understand where you are and where you're trying to go, right? You need to um, take courses that you're interested in, right? So when you sit down with your academic advisor, make sure that he or she understands what your interests are, and then as they understand your interests, then let's do your track for your education towards those interests. Another thing that you want to make sure is that you try to get into some kind of student organization, student government. If you want to be in a culturally specific organization, and if they don't have that, create it. Right? You be the leader of that particular organization, because we all have things that we're passionate about. We all have things that mean a lot to us. And so use those skills and that knowledge and those abilities that you have to make the situation that you're in and the experience that you're having, make it be the fullest that it can be. And I tell a lot of the students, get involved, be engaged, right? Make it the thing that you want to belong to, because as you well know, Leon, being educated men like we are, that we have to, that is going to follow us, down the road, that's going to follow us throughout our careers. And, that 40 to 60, that's your earning years, right? So when you come out of high school until you're about 40, that's still your learning years. Now you 25, I should say 25 to 60 is your earning years. And so what are you going to do? How are you going to command what you need to get done what you need to get done? And so one thing that I tell all the students also is take a strategies for success course, or a course that teaches you time management skills, or study management skills. That's important, right? Get that class. That helps you get a foundation for what you need, and then that course helps to lead you into success of the rest of your courses, your general electives, and then your major courses down the road.
Okay. Now let's talk about parents. For some parents, this is the first time that their son or daughter has gone away, or the first time that they're in a college environment. What are some tips for parents to make the transition easier for the student, but also easier for themselves? Now, I'll give you 2 examples, and these may be examples from me. I'm not going to say, but these things happen. I've heard about them happening, right? That the parents are sending a text message all the time saying, "How's it going? What are you doing today? What's your plan?" Boom, 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 boom. I've also heard of parents that expect to be able to call the college or university to say, "How's my daughter doing in school? How's my son doing?" Give us some advice on some things that parents should do, shouldn't do, and give us your opinion on this one. Should a college freshman have a car? So give us some advice for parents, and go ahead and touch on that car issue for a second.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm a parent. I have a 18-year-old son that is getting ready to go away to college. He's going to a Christian college. And I had my other son who went to school with me because he played for me in college. The one thing that I will tell the parents is, if you want to keep the great relationship that you have with your student, stay in your lane, right? Stay in your lane. When they have the need for advice, believe you me, they will come to you and talk to you. And one thing I also tell parents is, and I say this to my mom too, and she's probably watching this show. Um, I say to her, well, Mom, you have to trust that what you put in us is in us, right? All the hard work that you've done over the 18 years prior to us going to college, the morals, the values, those things are in us, right? And I know that they are, because there's very many times that I've caught myself saying something to my children, and then I look around to see if my mother or my father's there, right? So we have to understand that parents cannot call and talk to advisors or financial aid or anything like that because of FERPA laws. It's a federal law that prohibits any parent that has a child over the age of 18 and talking about that, unless the student elects to sign a waiver that gives them that opportunity. And a lot of times I advise students not to do that, because you have to handle your own business. And I tell them a lot of times, you are the CEO of you. So you have to handle your business. Now, I do say, parents, be involved as much as you can, stay engaged, right? As far as the car situation, I'm kind of probably different. When you get to campus, the experience of being able to have freedom to go and move around, that's a part of that holistic collegiate experience. So I am a proponent of allowing freshmen, if the institution allows them to have it, of allowing a freshman to have their vehicle. We are sending our son with his vehicle to school. And it's only about a 2.5-hour drive from where he lives now. And so I believe that. Now, and it all depends on the responsibility of the student. If the student is responsible at home, likely that he or she will be responsible away, because it's their only mode of transportation. And sometimes if you're in a 4-season demographic and you have winter, right? If you live on one side, you live on the west side of the quad, and your school's on the east side of the quad, sometimes it's better to be able to go to student parking and walk to your class, as opposed to walking across the quad when the weather is not so favorable.
Yeah. That's it. Now, tell me one more thing, Dr. Brown. I'm Leon Thomas. You're watching 60 Minutes in Black America. I'm filling in for Mike Haney. We're talking with Dr. Cedric Brown, the Director of Athletics at Lewis and Clark Community College in Godfrey, Illinois. One final subject, Dr. Brown. You mentioned earlier that you were a servant leader. You talked about that this being a position that the Lord had for you. How do you bring your faith to work as the Director of Athletics? How do you approach that? How do you let folks know that you are a man of faith? How do you do that?
Well, one thing that I've received from I was a member of the youth pastor leadership team at Faith Church in Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, where my wife Linda and I live. And I had an opportunity to be a part of that team. And in that relationship, my pastor at the time, he sent me his daily devotional. And it was decree and confessions. And basically it's a paragraph or more of scriptures, right? And I've kind of prayed about that and asked the Lord to help me discipline myself to say those decrees and confessions each morning before I start work or before I start my day. And I've shared that with some. If when we talk in my surroundings at work, and I say I'm a man of faith, or I talk about the church that I go to. I'm a member of Faith Church here in St. Louis, Missouri. Then that opens them up, and they feel free to talk about it. Because one thing I won't do, Leon, is I'm not going to browbeat anyone. But if somebody wants to know about my testimony and they want to know what the Lord has done for me, I can talk about it all day long. I also share with them that one thing that I'm doing right now is I am reading the Bible cover to cover. I started with Revelations. I read some of the other Bibles in the Old Testament, but then my mom said to start with the Gospel, so I read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and then I went back to the Old Testament, the New Testaments, and then went back to the Old Testament with Genesis, and I started there. So now I am getting ready. I just finished First Kings, and now I'm going into Second Kings, and so having an opportunity to read those scriptures and those books of the Bible has given me a different outlook on how I try to, because I'm not perfect, that I try to forge ahead in my life. And the one thing that my mother told me, she said, make sure that you find a character in the Bible that you can kind of relate to, and then you can kind of emulate that person. And it was Solomon, because God asked Solomon, what do you want? I'll give you anything that you want, Solomon. And he could have asked for money. He could have asked for fame. He could have asked for more wives, as if he didn't have enough. But he asked for wisdom. And the wisdom that he asked for helped him to make decisions for God's people as he went along the way. And then obviously we know that Solomon wasn't perfect. And then at the end, he started to worship other gods and things like that. So I want Solomon post, pre all of those things. I want the Solomon that asked for wisdom, and that God granted him the wisdom to be the person that he is. And that's what I said when I received this job, Leon. I said, Lord, you know the gifts that you've given me. You know the education that you allowed me to have. You know the fact that my personality draws people to me. Show me how to use those gifts and those skills at my job every single day. And that's the prayer that I pray daily. So.
All right, great. Thank you, Dr. Cedric Brown, for sharing with us. Now, we had one question come up in the comments regarding prayer in schools. We have about a minute 30 seconds left in this segment. I know that question may take longer than a minute 30 seconds to answer, but Dr. Brown, could you give us a condensed answer for this one, please? Do you think prayer should be in schools? From one of our viewers.
Absolutely. I believe that our faith is the foundation of everything that we do. And so if there's an opportunity with school boards or whatever that is, and they give the opportunity for prayer to come back in school, like the parochial schools or Christian schools and things like that, I just think that it's foundational for us to just be better to be better, people across the board. So if I were a president of a university, or if I were a president of a private school or a public school, a superintendent, I would, if it came across, I would definitely support it. Yes, sir. Can you hear me now?
I think we have Dr. Brown's email address ready to roll. Yeah, can you go ahead and share that email address, please?
My email address is a play on words of my name. It's Nuff Said, Nuffced, 215@gmail.com. And then my Instagram and my Twitter accounts are the same. Nuff said 86.
Okay. All right, great. Dr. Cedric Brown, the Director of Athletics at Lewis and Clark Community College, thank you so much for being with us on this edition of 60 Minutes in Black America. Thank you, Dr. Brown. It's been a pleasure.
Leon, thank you so much, man. The things that you're doing right now is incredible. So I appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Again, I'm Leon Thomas, filling in for Mike Haney here on 60 Minutes in Black America, having a great show. We just talked to two Black business owners. We talked to Noah Baldon, who is the owner of Soap Fabulous Soaps. And we also talked to Brandon Byrd, who's the owner of Goodies, Frozen Custards and Treats in Alexandria. And we're also highlighting members of the Leon Thomas group. Earlier you heard some of the work from Dion Hunter, and now we're going to take a look at some work from Kelly Johnson, another voiceover artist with our company. Here we go.
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way every time and making it count everywhere you go. It's never worrying about what to wear because something new is always coming your way. That's why renting is everything. New styles, top designers, all for a flat monthly fee. Start your subscription at renttherunway.com.
That piece was done by voiceover artist Kelly Johnson, a member of the Leon Thomas Group team. Kelly's with us tonight. She also works in production, but she's working as a voiceover artist also, but she also works in production on many of the shows that we have. Kelly's with us tonight. Let's bring Kelly on to say hello to everyone. Hey, Kelly, how you doing?
Good, doing good.
Good. Thank you for your work and everything that you do behind the scenes to make our shows work. And thank you for those voiceover pieces you do. You do a lot of intros for the shows that we do, and
Yes.
you also do some of the work like we just saw with Rent the Runway. Kelly, you're pretty good at this. How did this happen? How did you gain an interest in being a voice artist?
I had always had an interest in some form of acting, but it took me some time to find my niche, but I didn't really know how exactly to get into it. So that's why I seemingly met you at a perfect time.
Yeah, we did. We met at a perfect time for both of us, and it's not like that. You didn't send a resume to say, hey, I want to work. It was just through a chance encounter where, as I recall, you asked for my email address because you were working at a medical facility. You asked for my email address, and I gave it to you, and you said, well, Leon, the trainer, what's that? What do you train? And I told you, and the next thing you know, here we are, right? It's pretty
Yes,
cool, right?
yes, it is. A year later.
Yeah. And you're
Yes.
doing just some great things. Now, Kelly, we have another piece we're gonna take a look at. Let's go ahead and roll that second piece with Kelly now.
Welcome, everyone, to DEI After 5, the show that focuses on topics across diversity, equity, and inclusion with some of the brightest minds in the industry. Here's your hostess, inclusive culture curator, and coach, Sasha Thompson.
That's the intro for a show that we produce called DEI After 5. The host is Sasha Thompson, and that's Kelly's voice doing that. Kelly, that's really sharp stuff. That's good work.
Thank you.
Now, how long did it take you to do the voice part of that?
That I did about 4 or 5 takes and sent you some variety. But I did want to perfect it because this is a repeat client. So I'm getting more and more into that perfectionist side of things, but I think it works to my advantage.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting you say that perfectionist side of things because as you were doing that piece and as you were doing some of the others, it's like you send it over and it seems like no, that's not the one I want. It seems like no, that's not the one. The one that's not the one. That's not the one. And it's an over and over again. And because you wanna get it right, and we so much appreciate that. And so do the folks that hire you to do work as well. If you want to have Kelly do a voiceover piece for you, contact me and I'll put you in touch with Kelly. You can reach out to me on our website. That's the Leon Thomas Group, theleonthomasgroup.com. Or you can go ahead and give me a phone call or text. That's 443-756-5700. But Kelly, you not only do voiceovers, you do some other things. Let's take a look at some weather and traffic examples you have. Let's roll that one for Kelly.
Kelly Johnson with your Hits 88 traffic and weather on the fives. The outer loop is backed up from Parkville into Pikesville. It clears past Reisterstown Road, but expect delays up to 40 minutes. The inner loop is heavy from 95 through Wilkins and looks like an accident on 70 East heading towards Columbia. Take 40 heading into the city. And in weather, current temperature is 44 degrees. Expect lows in the 30s tonight. Slight chance of snow overnight, but nothing to worry about. Should clear and we'll be in the 40s by noon tomorrow. This is Kelly Johnson for Hits 88.
Now, obviously, that example was done back in the winter, but folks, as you listen to that, close your eyes and think you're in your car and you're listening to your favorite radio station, and they come on with the traffic report, and that's Kelly there doing that. Kelly, just another great piece. Congratulations on that one too, and all the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the variety.
Kelly, tell us about your background and education.
So I went to Morgan State University and I majored in strategic communication. I graduated in December of 2018 and just been on my journey thus far.
Mm-hmm. Well, great. We're glad that you're taking your part of your journey with us at the Leon Thomas Group. We're going to look at one more piece. This is the one that I think you and I both say is like the best one of all. But our viewers may think something else. Let's roll that final piece with Kelly, please.
Water. It's everywhere. We drink it, we bathe with it, we cook with it. Coffee's made with water. Toilets won't flush without it. It's used for washing clothes, dishes, utensils, pots, pans, floors, and our teeth. Plants and crops need water, animals drink it, and fish need it too. And don't forget, we can have a lot of fun in the water. Water. What would we do without it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's hot there. That is rocking hot. Yeah, I like it. Mike Haney's saying we have to get you to do weather for Wake Up Baltimore.
Oh, certainly, I will. I'd love to.
All right, let's make it happen. So Kelly, thank you so much. You do such a great job, but not only on your voiceovers, you also participate as part of production to make these shows happen. You're running various aspects of production, so it's so great to have you a part of the team. And thank you so much for everything you do to make all of us win. Thank you, Kelly.
All right, I'm glad to be a part of the team.
Thank you. The next member of our team that I'd like everyone to meet is Dion Hunter. Dion is another voice artist that also helps in the production of shows, events, and broadcasts that we do. Let's bring Dion on the screen. Hi, Dion. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for being here, and thanks for all the work that you do, particularly on the voice side, but also in production as well. So how did you get into the voiceovers, Dion?
Actually, to try to improve on public speaking in front of a crowd. So I was trying to find something where I didn't want to speak in such a dead tone. And so I decided to take a summer course at a community college around, which the class was called Getting Paid to Talk. Very eye-catching. And so take that class, figure out how to do ranges of tones, and took it from there. And I learned a lot while doing it.
Yeah, and you're doing such a great job. Let's take a look at one of Dion's demos. Let's roll it.
It's time to grow your business and help others grow theirs. Welcome to the Referral Source.
With John Waller, you did the intro voiceover for that. Dion, how long does it take you to do a project like that? How long does it take to get the voice part right?
Like Kelly, I'm trying to be a perfectionist, so it does take quite a bit of takes. But in all, like 30 minutes or an hour, the max.
Okay, and you really knock it out of the park.
But it's not an easy thing.
It's not. Yes, yes. It is, and you do such a great job at it. And thank you for what you do in production also to make these shows work. It takes a lot of people to make it a show like this really happen and make it work well, make it a great experience for our viewers. So thank you for that. Let's run another piece with Dion. These are my two favorite ones that you've done. Let's roll.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you the Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
Yeah. I like those too. But Dion, you have something else going on. You have your own show that we did a big announcement for last week. Tell us some about your show.
Yes, actually doing a show with another brother of mine, Oren. It's called Growing on Camera. It's where we are discussing topics that normally don't get discussed in churches, like race and relations, or should women be leaders in churches? Very of these different kind of topics that don't really get discussed. But our intention is just to grow closer to God and understanding, as well as growing closer to each other, along with the viewers that are watching.
Great. Looking forward to seeing that. And that's going to air, what's the date on that? Thursdays at 9, Is that correct? Thursday
evenings at 9 p.m., 8 on Central Time, 9 Eastern Time.
Okay, great. Thank you, Dion. I'm looking forward to your show being a great success, and thank you for what you do, everything that you do to help make our team a success, because when one of us wins, we all win, and thank you so much for being a part of our team. Thank you, Dion.
No, thank you for the opportunities.
Now, we also want to let you know that there are two members of the team that aren't able to be with us tonight. That's Jeremiah Nixon, who's a frequent guest on Jasmine Pollock's First Impression Sports Talk, and he also assists in the production of shows. Jeremiah is a senior majoring in sport management and sport marketing, I think it is, with his specialty, and he wants to be a very influential person in the sports marketing area. That's Jeremiah Nixon. And we also have Joel Thomas, who's our writing editor. He's our chief writer. So anything that gets sent out in writing, anything that's a part of the voiceover, Joel has to approve it. Joel sometimes writes it. So we're very fortunate to have folks that have a variety of skills as part of our team. Let's now bring on Jasmine Pollock. Let's do that by showing Dion's intro to Jasmine's show. That's going to be number 8. Let's roll that one, please.
Welcome to a special edition of 60 Minutes in Black America. Regular host Michael Haney is taking the night off. Jasmine Pollock, the host of First Impression Sports Talk, is filling in. Stay tuned for lively conversation and debate about a wide variety of sports topics. And now, here's Jasmine.
Now, here she is. Let's bring Jasmine Pollock on screen. Hey, Jasmine, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good, good. So you're hosting your own show. Now, let's see, you've had, what, close to 55 or 60 episodes now of First Impression Sports Talk? Is that right?
Honestly, I think it's at 60 now, but I mean, it could be more, but I just have fun doing it. So there's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, it is a lot of episodes, and it airs every Monday at 9 p.m. And you've co-hosted this show a couple times and did a great job on it. What was it like hosting 60 Minutes in Black America?
It's honestly, it was, of course, it's a pleasure doing it. I think I want to thank Mike for allowing me to do that. I did it last week, so it was really exciting doing that. But what's so interesting about it is me adjusting to how long it is. So my show usually before is like maybe 15 to 20 minutes. And then it ends up being, then going on 60 minutes, it becomes an hour. So I'm like, okay, now I have to really press for time. I have to really just expand and expound on the different topics that I have. And then now on my show, I'm starting to see myself going to an hour or 40 minutes. So it's a huge adjustment for me. It's really fun. Yeah,
it is it's just a pleasure to work with you. And also thank you for what you do behind the scenes, because not only are you on screen for your show, but for other shows and events that we produce, you are a part of it. So thank you very much for what you're doing. Now, tell us about some of the unique guests you've had on your show, First Impression Sports Talk. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so one of my guests, which was on here, Dr. Cedric Brown, he was actually on my show a couple weeks ago, about last month or so. And we had a great conversation about faith and, his journey and just having a strong mother, like a strong praying mother. It was really fun. And I've had the twin brothers, the Westerland brothers. I have one tomorrow, Sean Westerland, the two basketball brothers. And I had Richard Westerland a couple weeks ago. Then last week I had one of my best friends, Ramisha Gordon. She was on the show. We had a great conversation. Of course, I have Jeremiah, my dad, the second half of my show. We talk all things sports. We get into a lot of spicy debates and just get into some things. And it's really fun. So, and they keep coming. The guests keep coming, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've had some very unique guests. You had Coach Jim Hoy, who runs a boxing program in Pittsburgh. You had Devin Harris, who's a former Olympian who was a captain of the first Jamaican bobsled team in the Olympics, right? He's been a guest on your show. So it's not just football and basketball. There are
a lot of stuff.
Folks that represent other areas of sports that come on your show, and it's great to see that, and we wish you such great success. Now, when we ran your 50th anniversary show, we got a really cool message from Coach Hugh Jackson, who's now the head coach at Grambling University, right? Who also coached in the NFL. Let's run that message that Coach Hugh Jackson sent you.
Mm-hmm. Jasmine, how you doing? This is Hugh Jackson. Leon told me that you are a rising senior at Warner University. I hear you also aspire to be a sports analyst. I want you to know, Jasmine, you can be whatever you want to be. Today marks your 50th episode of your show, First Impression Sports Talk. That is just a start for you. This is nothing for you because you're going to accomplish some great things in your career. There's no question in my mind that, Jasmine, you will be as good as anybody in the world. If you continue to work hard and set your mind to this, there's no telling what you can accomplish. I would not be surprised to see you on any of these big time sport talk shows, whether it's ESPN, Fox Sports 1, anything you can imagine. There's no question in my mind that you will accomplish it. You're going to make it, and you're going to make it big because you have the desire, the dedication, the discipline, and the determination that it takes to be the best. Jasmine, continue to do what you're doing. Best wishes to you. And again, there's no question someday I'm going to be watching TV and they're going to say Jasmine is running the show. Hey, best wishes and take care, and God bless.
How about that from Coach Hugh Jackson about you? That's awesome, huh?
Yeah, it was fun. When I first saw it, I was like, is this real? Because I know who Hugh Jackson is. So it It was a really humbling experience.
Yeah, and I want to say to all of our team members that good things are going to happen for all of you. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for everything that you do. There's one more person I want to bring on, a member of our production team who does not like going on camera. He doesn't like speaking, but we're going to bring him on anyway. Let's bring on Dr. J. Dr. Jay Racinko. Hey, Jay, how you doing? Uh-oh. See, he doesn't like going on. Then he comes on, doesn't turn his microphone on. Boy, I tell you what.
Well, you can't get both. It's hard to get me on both.
Right. Jay, good to have you with us. Thank you so much for what you do to make all of our shows a success. Thank you, Jay.
I'm happy to help out everybody. That's always been our goal, me and you. And it's great working with everybody.
Yeah, it is great working with everyone. And Jay, when the decision was made 2.5 years ago, whatever it was, to start this, you were the one of the folks that gave the most support right away. And you said, we need to do something to make sure that we're helping others, to make sure that we're able to give others opportunities. And it's so great. I'm happy that you said that. But we're living it out. And so thank you for what you do, all the support that you provide for everyone's show, the voiceovers and everything that happens. You're a very important part of what happens here. So thank you, Jay.
No, thank you. It's I'm thankful to help everybody out and help everybody grow.
Yeah, this is really great. Let's bring all the team members on. We are going to take the next 30 seconds to sign out. We can bring everyone back on. And where'd Kelly go? Kelly's here somewhere. Did she leave? Did she leave us too? So I know it's hard to navigate now because you go from a production role to being on screen. You have to make sure all the right buttons are clicked and everything. But thank you, everyone, for the work that you do. Thank you so much for helping to make shows like this a success and everything else that we do. None of this could happen without all of you having the dedication to do things. Even the smallest things make a difference in a show like this and all the ones that we do. So thank you all so much for what you do.
Of course. Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, everyone. You guys are the best.
And folks, thanks for watching again. I'm Leon Thomas, co-hosting for Mike Haney here on 60 Minutes in Black America. I encourage you to watch Mike's new show called Wake Up, Baltimore, that airs every Monday at 7:30 on these same social media networks. I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Thanks for watching this edition of 60 Minutes in Black America. Have a great night.